actual morning today. Hey, how are you doing? Welcome to twitch.tv/ bloody hell, Baby's bright. I'll read.
I'm not bright, I'm dim.
Let me test. I'm going to go to the big bib screen, but I don't think I have the green screen thing set up on there. Let me jump over. No, I'm just in a frame on my own. Hey, yeah. How you doing? Hey, I'll read Bib.
Good.
Are you
morning? I didn't even need to say after morning.
I know. I did the same thing. I went good actual morning because it completely confused me. But yeah, are you ready for a full day of streaming?
I most certainly am. It looks like you sat on top of my A10s.
I'm hid behind them. I mean, I'm thinking. I'm just like, do you know what? These headsets, big fan. Like we've got the A40s just here, a bit down a bit. To your right a bit. Oh no, left then. Other right, a bit more. There we go.
There you go. Just tap me on the head a little bit.
Scratching my ear like a dog. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get back at this. But yeah, welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham. This is Bib. What are you doing? Are you letting Joseph get his time on stream?
This is Joseph.
Joe, jump back. Oh, you moved. Jump, move out the way. What? Hey, there he is.
Oh,
hi, Dad.
Baby boy. Hi, Dad.
Look, Dad. No stabilizers.
That isn't a green screen, by the way.
Yeah, anyway, welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day. This is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true ice creamy fashion, this is the Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. We go live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. ish. It's now 11:30, so it's not too bad for us. That's pretty good. I'll take that. Anyway, we will give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games over the next hour or so. We're actually going to try and speed things up and take it down a little bit because we have 3 streams today. We're starting now with the Scoop. In exactly 90 minutes, we will be going live on twitch.tv/official insert coin, playing some Fortnite with lightsabers and stuff for you guys. So do feel free to join us for that. ! Insert coin in the chat if you want to know where that is. And tonight, I will be chasing crates with mates, myself and the Triggermeister, and probably some other homies as well. We'll be jumping in to play some PUBG on the channel from about 6:30 tonight. So do feel free to join us throughout the day. That's probably the next 12 to 13 hours of content. We're going to be on stream for a good 10 of that, probably. So do feel free to join us for the rest of Star Wars Day. Nice. As mentioned, we will give you the biggest, the best, and breaking stories from the world of video games over the next hour or so on this stream. And then we'll give you our thoughts and impressions. Then we want to hear your thoughts and impressions. Then we want to hear your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. So please do feel free to get involved over the next hour or so. And it's important that you do because over 130,000 people have downloaded, watched, and listened to this podcast on demand. Please do it. Like I say, on demand. We've got a video on YouTube, an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So there is lots of places where people do consume that content. If you're with us in the stream, do feel free to get involved on behalf of all those people. Before we go any further, do you love me? Will you love me forever? Let me give you a few bits of housekeeping. First of all, ! Loot drop. We are giving away some stuff next Monday. One subscriber will bag themselves a prize on Monday. That asset is still being drawn up by our designers. Busy week. But we will post that out. But as Bibi said yesterday, the bits that we're giving away can be seen on my screen now. So yeah, there we go. Tease. So if you want to know what that is, do keep your eye on our social media. As well as that ! Insert coin. I've mentioned it already. We are going to be live on Insert Coin playing Fortnite. Star Wars Fortnite. On stream. Yeah. Do get involved. Do get involved. We'd love to see you over there. Even if you're not interested in Fortnite, if you could just, you know, even just opening up a tab, do feel free to join us as we try and help Insert Coin with their push towards partnership. We are part of the Coin Army, and we'd love to see you guys over there. OG Bibby is in the chat. What is this? God damn. So the OG Bibby, for those that don't know, is not this Bibby. It's the one true Bibby. We mentioned this before. We had a bib off. Bibby lost the bib off, so Bibby is not the true Bibby.
This Bibby, not the other Bibby.
Yeah. Bibby back.
Just to clarify.
Good morning, OG Bibby. Good morning, Viv. I'll read. Yay, ish. OG Fish, or Big Fish. Apparently, ish too. It is. Don't know what that big fish emote is, but thank you for that. Thank you for getting involved in the chat. Lake says, Ah, shit, I forgot to take Amazon Prime and sub with it. God damn it, Blake. God damn it. Still time. Do it now. JMK says, morning all. Morning. JMK gets married this weekend, by the way.
Does it?
He does.
Ooh, good luck, my friend. Good luck.
Lotus says, Yanan. Nice.
Why not?
Obviously, hashtag content. PUBG, I shit your pants. Do you know what? I'll give you one of them. As soon as you said exclamation mark, pants. I shit my pants. There you go. I shit my pants.
I need you to export all them, by the way, and send them to me, including. You want to see a state of our Wes?
Exclamation mark. Wes?
I want to see state of our Wes.
It's the ha 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 that you hear right at the end of it as well. So yeah, we're going to jump into some news then today. We'd usually get a little bit conversational, but we're going to try and keep the pace flowing because we have a lot of content to deliver on stream today, not just on our channel as mentioned. So we're going to kick things off by talking about Ready Player One. Ish. As the first article written by Chris Scullion at VGC will say that former GTA boss's new game Everywhere will be a real-life Ready Player One. That's what we're going to jump into first. We will then talk about FIFA going crossplay, Call of Duty making cheaters invisible to other players, which is probably a masterstroke move, and then Free Game Wednesday. Not only will we tell you about what games are on PlayStation Plus and that they're available now, but also we'll tell you about what games are coming to Xbox's Game Pass too. So if you're on Xbox or PlayStation, we'll let you know what freebies you can get. Nice. But for now, babe, have you got your haptic suits ready?
Yes, obviously. I kind of blue screen. I don't know if you noticed that, Graham, but I kind of blue screened a very small bit there. But yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Your Yorkshire started coming through then with the GU try. I don't know what he's saying, cocker. But yeah, I did notice the blue screen then, by the way, because I was thinking, okay, Bibby's doing that. I'm just getting the browser tab source ready to go on, and then I was like, oh no, he's broken. He's not heard it, and then you started working again. So I was like, oh okay. Just
no, I did. I was like, what's haptic suits got to do with Fortnite later on?
It was about Ready Player One, goddamn.
Yeah. I got there eventually, Graham. The cogs are still being greased.
Honestly, fucking hell. Packet loss on Bibby. Have you hooked yourself up to the VPN? Goddamn. Anyway, we'll jump in. Chris Scullion at VGC has the article that says former GTA boss's new game Everywhere will be a quote real life Ready Player One. Investor document reveals major information on Leslie Benzie's next project. So an investor document has revealed previously unknown information on Everywhere, the new open-world game from GTA producer Leslie Benzies. As spotted by business analyst Roberto Serrano, Galaxy Interactive has a presentation on its website in which it details some of the companies it's invested in. This includes Build a Rocket Boy, the new studio by former Rockstar North president Leslie Benzies. While the document doesn't name Everywhere by name, it does give some information on what Benzies' team has been working on. The report describes Everywhere as a, quote, real-life Ready Player One, end quote, referring to the book and movie about a virtual reality open world. It calls it, quote, an open-world AAA game with a multiplayer experience incorporating a multi-chapter epic narrative, user-generated content through a virtual sandbox where players can create their own worlds, and deep and social and streaming integrations. That was a lot of words there. Did you?
That was a lot of words.
Yeah, damn. It's stuff. Nice. This is the most detailed information yet on a game that continues to be shrouded in secrecy despite being potentially in development for several years. The only other information on the game is a brief plot teaser on the website, which reads, quote, in the near future, technology has brought humanity to the precipice of a world shifting change. There are those who want to use this technology to advantage only themselves, and those who want to use it to help all humankind. Will we look to the stars or stare only at our feet? Will we be inspired or live in fear? There's a war between good and evil in the hearts of men and women. Everything is changing, and there's no going back. It's a game, it's a community, it's a new world. The storm is on the horizon, and it is only the beginning of everywhere. Benzies, who was one of the most influential figures behind the GTA series, left Rockstar under difficult circumstances in 2016 and founded Build a Rocket Boy, named after an Elbow album, in 2017. The producer sued Take-Two for $150 million in unpaid royalties, alleging that the company tried to force him out after he took a sabbatical. The claim was eventually settled in 2018. Build a Rocket Boy confirmed in late 2020 that Everywhere, which had previously been using Amazon's Lumberyard game engine, would be switching to Unreal Engine. Quote, "We're hugely excited about harnessing this powerhouse tech to create amazing new worlds and are actively hiring in all disciplines in Edinburgh and Budapest," a statement said at the same time. So there you go. I went through the full article just to give a little bit of background because a lot of people may have missed the Everywhere news previously. I certainly had. This one has caught me off guard. So a new game from a former GTA boss, Everywhere, is apparently going to be a real-life Ready Player One. What are your thoughts, babe?
I still think it's too good to be true, Graham. We've spoken about things like PlayStation Home very recently, actually, maybe 2 weeks ago, when we was in the studio, talking about what PlayStation had way back on the PlayStation 3 was a universe that you could, very much like GTA RP nowadays, you have a universe that's controlled obviously by PlayStation. They can put advertisements within the game if they wanted to have a pizza Hut in there. In fact, it was because of like the Crazy Taxi and the in-game advertisements. I'm fairly certain that's why we ended up bringing it up in the first place. But if they wanted to have a Pizza Hut or an Adidas shop or something like that within the game, you just have your avatar walk in, buy some Adidas clothes, then hop on over to Pizza Hut and go and have a pizza. You'd live your life in that, a second life, if you will, within that video game. And I feel like that's what they're trying to achieve with this. I don't know what the game's going to consist of, whether or not it's just going to be a walking simulator where you can go to the local dance hall. I have never felt older saying that, by the way. Or going to Coldplay.
All right, Grandad.
Yeah, I'm still courting my wife.
I love going to the discotheque.
Yeah, you go down the road and go play some Crown Green Bowls. But yeah, they might be able to have like snooker halls or football pitches or something like that. How they try and get the physics of the games in there, I'm not too sure. Like they've managed to do it in Grand Theft Auto. You can go to the golf course and you can play tennis if you really want. They've got all that included in there. So I'm interested to see what the game's going to consist of because I don't want it to be like PlayStation Home. I thought it was boring, but I think my actual life is a lot more exciting than what goes on in like what used to be in PlayStation Home. So I don't know. It needs to be something that brings people back, and I don't know how they actually do that. It needs to be fun. It can't just be a social aspect. I understand there is probably people that may not like going outside or may not like socializing with people face to face, and that is essentially what these worlds are built for. But yeah, I'm still excited to see what happens with it because I think that this is the shift in technology now. Like, I know Ready Player One was built for people running on treadmills. Obviously, within the film and within the book, they had the suits on, they had the goggles, the Oculus Rift or whatever it was. Had all of that to make it as like real life as possible. Whether or not we're going to get just the bare minimum of having the VR headset on to try and be in that world, or you're just going to use a controller, I don't know. I'd feel like it needs to be taken as serious as possible if it was going to be like a Second Life kind of thing. But yeah, it's a weird. I've asked you this before. Have you seen Upload? That's on Amazon Prime.
No, I've not. No.
Right. So the premise of that is when you die, you don't necessarily die. A version of you gets uploaded to a server, and then you can live your second life within that server. But if you had a partner or something who was quite wealthy, quite rich, they could buy a suit that you could then go into the game with them. You could then go into this world. I feel like that's what the technology is going to be like. To what, not anytime soon. I feel like we're still 10 years off that. We haven't even managed to get VR proper yet. I still feel we're way off that yet. I mean, do you remember the videos? I'm rabbiting on it, but if there's more things keep on coming into my mind. Do you remember about 5-6 years ago, maybe even longer, of that geezer playing? I think it was Call of Duty, but he was on like what looked like a trampoline, but it wasn't. It was like a curved treadmill, but he'd have the ghillie suit on, he'd have it tied around his waist, and he'd be running around with a gun, and it was like proper VR, as if you was in playing Call of Duty.
I remember seeing that at EGX. So we like going back to like 2013. I remember it was it was kind of like a treadmill, but rather than it being a flat base, it was a ball that you were stood in.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit jarring because like a treadmill actually moves underneath your feet, and if you watch Ready Player One, it's like a 360 treadmill, so you can run forward and sideways and stuff like that. Whereas this one, it was kind of you had to slide your feet like in this ball kind of thing, but then you were strapped to it like with a belt, so you could turn around and it knew which way you were facing through the belt, and then it could tell if you were running through your feet movement, and then you'd have the gun and the headset, which all had their own sensors, which is fucking amazing.
Yeah. That's the future, but it's going to be very expensive. 2, not everyone will be able to fit it into the house. And 3, how are they going to do it? But this is a step forward.
I mean, the space thing is the biggest thing, though. It's like we're living in a world where houses are becoming smaller and smaller and smaller, and like you can buy one property in London that's like £500,000, and it's like the thin house from Harry Potter that pops up between two bigger houses and pushes it apart, but hasn't fully extended yet. It's like that's not a house. You can fit a wheelie bin maybe just inside. So having to do that with a full VR rig, haptic suit, and a like treadmill so you can gather your momentum and stuff, that is incredible. I love that sort of stuff. It becomes a little bit difficult. But rewinding it back into this, I love the idea of something like a real life Ready Player One. The issue is like end game, because life doesn't really have an end game. Your end game is, I know by the time I'm, it depends on different people, 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever sort of thing it is. I want 2.4 children, a dog, a car, a house, a speedboat, or whatever. Different people have different goals. But then you get there and you're like, okay, well, I'm 50 and I've got my speedboat, my dog, my car, my house, and my 2.4 children. I've actually probably got another 30 years left in me, give or take. So I reassess my goal. And the thing is with the virtual sandbox stuff is it's super difficult to have a storyline that goes forever. Because you either get storylines that are really good and meaningful, and people feel like if I just drop out, then if I continue with it, then I finish it. But if I don't continue with it, do I feel satisfied just dropping out? And then you get other games that go, okay, well, we have something that has an end game that's so far away, but then it's artificial, like the Assassin's Creed Valhallas of the world, where you've just got grind. Life is a grind, but it's also not a grind. It's also life. It's also engagement. It's also every day you do something new, you pick something up, you learn something, you engage with someone, you interact with someone. And how do you make an environment that has an end game whilst also not having a necessitative end game? It's so difficult.
That's what MMOs I feel like do very well, because they've got a roadmap. I always use World of Warcraft as this example because it's been going on for so long now. I think it's over 20 years, maybe 22 years, 23 years. Like their roadmap would have been for 5 years. But because it's obviously it's so much more popular than they could ever have imagined, they keep on knocking it back 5 years, 5 years, 5 years. Here's your content, here's your content. So they seem to inject new life into that game on I think it's every 6 months they bring out a new expansion pack. Forgive me, I'm not a World of Warcraft player. I probably should be, but I'm an ESO player. Do you know what I mean? Theirs is like every 8 months. But yeah, it's difficult to try and keep people engaged in these kind of games. It's like you say, there's not really much of an end game. But using Grand Theft Auto RP as an example, I don't think I'd be very good at that game. Not because I don't think I could create a character, but because I don't have enough time to be able to try and narrow down a storyline. Like you see, Fixter is every single day he's streaming for 8 hours. GTRP, he's got storylines written down in a little book. Like he knows how he's progressing it each and every single day. I don't have 8 hours a day to be able to try and progress that storyline. Mine will be 4 hours a week, and no one's going to be interested. I wouldn't be interested in that, in even performing, because that's what it is, a performance within these RPs. Like, you don't have to necessarily be yourself. You can be whoever you want to be. So it's difficult to try and keep yourself engaged in that world when you know you don't have that much time.
Bits in it.
Difficult.
Bits
but
in it.
Bits in it. Jesus, I just shit myself then.
Lumps, thank you very much for 32 bits, dude. I appreciate that. Don't appreciate you breaking the lights by donating to the channel, though, man. God. We do really. Not that you can see it, because obviously it goes off the invisible screen. But anyway. Love you. Yeah, it's such a difficult concept because, like, even that, like, RP, you know that you are a fledgling rapper starting a career trying to make waves in a difficult world that's full of hustle and bustle, like Fixer is. And you go through all your strategy of making mixtapes and all, you put your own plans together, which is great. But in something like a real life Ready Player One, yes, you have your avatar, but you aren't necessarily playing a role, so to speak. Like Fixer's role is all about creating content and entertainment, whereas the theoretical world in Ready Player One is about hanging out as yourself. And then once you're hanging out as yourself, naturally it is a visual representation of yourself, so you can be whatever you want to be. But you then take that into races, into military bits, shoot 'em ups or whatever. And it's like, how does that work? Are they planning to have Second Life, PlayStation Home, Ready Player One's world? I can't remember the name of the game that they play in Ready Player One, but whatever that is, that world that then ticks off into content. So like GTA RP, effectively is that's the world where you go into. But then, do you then jump off into games from within that? Do you jump into the street race? Do you jump into a shootout? And that's the bit where I feel like everyone wants to create the Ready Player One. So everyone wants to be the first developer to make this environment. But it's so deep beyond just how do you make something that makes people enjoy playing it for now and then enjoy playing it forever? And then also having it be something that jumps out into other worlds. Like it's so. I consider myself a reasonably smart person, and I'm good at planning things. But that I wouldn't even know where to begin. I'd need a table of. I'd need to be one part of a table of big brains, and then be like, yeah, I thought of all what they thought as well.
The wall would have to be massive. Like it'd just be notes on the wall, constantly post-it notes, string, big pieces of paper with just ideas. But then how do you implement them? What do you lead with? What's the foundation? The foundation is obviously the most important thing of anything. What's the foundation? What is the thing that you are going to go live with that you can then build up on top of? Because you can't put everything live at once. It won't work. It'll be overwhelming. If something breaks, you won't know how to fix it. What is the thing that you put down for everybody to be able to enjoy first? Is it just a blank city? Is it for people to be able to design their own apartments, go out and do whatever they need to do?
And if it is a blank city, like that's where you get the next million questions. Okay, blank city. Do people build? Do people have to get currency to hire builders? Do people have to have skills in building this stuff? And then once it's built, can they sell it? Because that's where we need to develop economies then. Can they sell it for whatever they want, or is it sold for a set price developed by the system? If it's sold like price ranges by the system, then it's just it's so deep, like real life is. But that's the point. There is no end game in real life. Like if there was, the end game in real life would be President of the United States or something like that. But then Donald Trump doesn't get to President of the United States and then just clock out. That's it. He didn't just disappear. He's got stuff to do then. His end game changes. His end game is to try and get back into office or to try and actually change stuff for people down below or whatever. I mean, obviously Donald Trump not the best example of changing stuff for people down below, but still, there's always...
Make a good point though. How does politics come into it?
Yeah, exactly. So then it's a case of who controls that politics. Like if they want a real life Ready Player One, the whole landscape needs to either look after everyone within it or allow capitalism sort of thing. So is it a communist society where everyone has good chances of sharing the wealth, or is it a capitalist society where everyone has a good chance of earning their own way kind of thing? And all of that sort of stuff then comes into it because communism and capitalism and one size fits all. So it works for some people, and the other one works for other people across the world. So how do you make a game that? Yeah, okay, we'll put a pin in that. It's an interesting one. It's one that we will keep an eye on because we're definitely open to that sort of stuff, like VR, futuristic, engaging. Content and technology that's converging across multiple forms of media and playstyles. Love the idea. But my mind just melts when I start thinking about the actuality of it. So, yes, we'll keep you updated as we get any more updates. JMK says, real life solitaire. Yeah, exactly. Imagine going in to play pinball or something like that, but like in VR playing pinball. like who goes in and does the ball physics for the pinball machine and stuff like that? And do you jump out? Kind of reminds me of a WWE game a couple of years ago where you retired the moment you became WWE champion. Yeah, exactly. So like when you're the WWE champ, you don't go, that's it, well, you've made it to WWE champ now. And the belt becomes available again. Or you stay as the champ until the next person gets up and beats you. And then once you've been beaten, well, you've got nowhere further up to go now because you've already been the champ, so you just have to retire. There needs to be an end game plan. And does that end game wrap around my life in real life? Like, do I only finish when I die? And then does my character die, or do I finish? Can I retire my character in game and start again? Yeah. Anyway, we'll put pins in those. So that was Everywhere, a game from former GTA boss Leslie Benzies, who is making a real life Ready Player One game. That's only early details. I don't believe we've got anything visual. There was nothing in there, which makes me think there is nothing visual to show. But once we do get something, we will share. Speaking about sharing and visuals, we do have visuals on the next story. If you're a FIFA player, good news. This is written by Tom Phillips at Eurogamer. It says that EA announces FIFA Crossplay test. Finally on the ball. This was published yesterday, and the article says EA has announced plans for a crossplay test to be held within FIFA 22 for all players on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and the two people that still play on Stadia. Oh, no, it doesn't say the two people. Sorry, it says Stadia. My bad. The test... Bibby's just spilled his drink. The test will be limited to the game's online seasons and online friendlies mode, and let you play together with a friend or against rivals, regardless of their console. An image shared by EA... I'm going to scroll down for 1 second because it might actually bring the video in. There we go. An image shared by EA as part of today's announcement showed a simple button prompt on the game's main menu to opt out of the crossplay test if you so choose. Crossplay will also become an option in the game's matchmaking settings. Alternatively, if you'd like to crossplay with a friend, the same button prompt on the game's main menu will allow you to search for a pal by EA account name or console platform. Back in March, it was suggested that FIFA 23 would support crossplay this year, though EA itself did not comment on the report at the time. Today's report seems to suggest EA is indeed readying the feature for full rollout. Would you say it's surprising? Would you say it's pretty much expected? FIFA going crossplay. What are your thoughts, Bip?
I thought this would have been done a while ago, if I'm being honest. Obviously, there is EA games that does have crossplay supported already. I just can't believe it's taken so long for it to be in FIFA. I mean, even in the ICU Discord, we have been trying to get some pro clubs sorted out for the longest time, but the people, obviously, who are actively wanting to play are all on different consoles. So this hopefully will become the norm, and we can get some pro clubs and stuff like that sorted. But yeah, it makes the player base a lot bigger. I mean, obviously FIFA, you don't really have to wait long to be able to find the game anyway. The player base is there, but it's definitely split. I know a lot of people who've moved from Xbox over to PlayStation because they had particular content that Xbox didn't. Didn't Bateson do it? Bateson and Manny, didn't both of those move over to PlayStation because there was some things on PlayStation that aren't on Xbox, like some Legends or something?
I think it was like almost like an EA Accessy sort of thing that had them on Xbox at first, and then when that came to PlayStation, it was that, and some form. I mean, FIFA was very closely aligned with PlayStation. I don't know what the exclusive content was, but yeah, that's what they came for. It was definitely in-game content / that sort of stuff.
So if people have moved from one to another, then you still get the opportunity to be able to play with your friends again. I mean, pro clubs, it's not important to a lot of people, but for the people who do play it, it absolutely is. Like, it's still my favorite game mode. You can throw as much foot content at me as you want. I think it's vastly overwhelming. I love the fact that I can just pick up my controller and jump into some pro clubs and not really care that much about it. Whereas obviously on foot, you have to grind for 35 matches to be able to try and get an SBC for a particular player or playing weekend league. That doesn't really interest me whatsoever, really. But yeah, it's definitely a step in the right direction. Hopefully the test will come back conclusive and that we have some actual evidence to suggest that this is a good thing for a sports game. And the player base becomes one, essentially.
Sorry, I was just moving the sponsors logo. I had the sponsors in the wrong place, and I realised that it was just annoying. So yeah, there you go. I'm a big fan. I do feel like this is probably going to be. I want to. how do I put it? Difficult pill to swallow. A little bit of a stick in the mud, if that's the right phrase. I don't know. It's going to be a bone of contention. Let's put it that way for the community, because just looking at FIFA players that have both platforms, be that a PS4 and a PS5 or an Xbox. I think it's just PS4 and 5, actually. I think it's the same game on Xbox. But you'll get some people that go, nope, I'm not playing next-gen console version now. So playing that versus playing cross-gen, I do think you'll probably get some people that will be like, nope, I'm turning cross-play off because all I'm doing is getting shit on by the others. I mean, there's a lot of that artificially in the world. Some of it is legit. Some of it is not so much. Like I've had conversations about wanting to turn crossplay off in PUBG in the early days because it wasn't great. It was very, very bad. Xbox players will tell you that PlayStation have got PlayStation Desync, mate. PlayStation players will tell you that Xbox have got it. Truth of the matter is the servers that you're connecting to can often be the problems for both sides. I know that because I've experienced it both ways. So this could happen again. Servers, when you add another big not milestone, a big moving part in there. So you've got PlayStation to PlayStation with a server in the middle. Ooh, PlayStation to the server in the middle to a completely different system. Just it's naturally going to bring problems. So it will probably bring problems. Maybe people will be talking about it for the next couple of years, but then it'll just disappear as being a thing of the past. That crossplay wasn't even a thing. But absolutely, definitely on board with this crossplay. The quicker we get this for all games ever, and it's industry standard, the better, in my opinion, just because it's just commercial. The only reason that we don't play together is for commercial reasons, because PlayStation make their games and Xbox make their games, and they don't want to help each other out. And we finally got that wall broken down. So we get this on the pitch legitimately, then yeah, please. So it being tested now doesn't surprise me, and I 100% believe that is them laying the groundwork of launching with crossplay from day one in FIFA 23. Yeah. Okay, moving ahead. Should it work? Yeah, it will do. It probably won't at first, but that's why you test it in a dead game, mate. FIFA's proper dead, mate. It only sells like in the top 3 of the chart all the way through the year, but it's dead now. So yeah, if your game is dead, so to speak, and most people in the world would absolutely love to have that level of deadness in their game for the entirety of it, but if FIFA is dead now, try it now. Do it for your next one. Start off and absolutely smash it. They should test it with FIFA 22 now, as it's the end of its cycle. Exactly, ads. That's what I'm saying. So when I'm saying it's a dead game, what I mean is it's the end of the game's cycle. People have had their fill. The people that are still playing FIFA now are the people that will play FIFA all year round. That said, we are at the closing parts of the Champions League, and the cup competitions are all coming together, so that naturally spikes people's interest in football, just like people always want to play a Wimbledon game when we get into the summer. People always want to play tennis, or people will always want to play rugby games around February when we get Six Nations, that sort of thing. People will
Star Wars Battlefront when it's Star Wars Day.
Yep. Fortnite. Graham hasn't played it for like 2 years. He's going to be playing it today. Nice. Appreciate the reluctant follow. Do you know what? I didn't want to 12 ed. I was like, do you know what? This 12 ed, it's got 12 eds, which is like 11 more than he needs. So he's not having a follow. And then I accidentally clicked on it. So yeah, I thought, do you know what? Don't count because I didn't do it on purpose. So there you go. Have it. Yeah. Good morning, dude. Good. Yeah. Good after morning now. And I'm an Everton fan. Oh, do you know what? You can have the follow now. You can keep it as a sympathy follow. We've got an Everton fan in the office. And well, I say we've got an Everton fan in the office. He hasn't been in the office for 2 weeks. And he's working remotely. I mean, all the excuses in the world. It's just upset. It's just upset. Anyway. Okay, so EA has announced that it is working on crossplay. There is a crossplay test in FIFA 22. Fully expect the game to launch FIFA 23 with it installed. For now, let's jump ahead to our next story. This one's by Jon Porter at The Verge, and it says Call of Duty anti-cheat system makes legit players invisible to cheaters. Yeah, that's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. So its latest creative anti-cheat measure. So in a new blog post, the developers behind Call of Duty's Ricochet anti-cheat system have outlined a new cloaking measure that makes legitimate players invisible to cheaters. It effectively makes it impossible for cheaters to be competitive during a match, regardless of any illicit software they may be using. Quote, characters, bullets, even sound from legitimate players will be undetectable to cheaters. The blog post reads, legitimate players, however, can see cheaters impacted by cloaking and can dole out in-game punishment. The new cloaking feature is offered alongside a previous anti-cheat message called Damage Shield, which means the cheater's bullets won't do any damage to other players. So you can't hurt them, you can't see them, but they could fuck you up. Although Team Ricochet is only detailing the cloaking feature now, it appears to have been available in some form in Call of Duty Warzone since at least mid-February, when a video of the anti-cheat measure was posted to Twitter. So, do you know, I've hit play on it. I'm just going to skip past it because it's, yeah. So Call of Duty developers have banned tens of thousands of cheaters in recent... Do you know what we don't need to know about? Who they've banned and the whats? Lots of people cheat. Big, successful games naturally get the focus. What the... What? That video just fucking randomly spawned out some music halfway through. It was silent. They went fucking X-Files tune. God damn.
I shit my pants.
I fucking did. So, let me go back a little bit. Let's see if we can find it. So open this back up. So it was back here. Play. Yeah. Like some weird Star Wars blastery fucking lightsaber-ish sort of noise. Aliens, exactly. Fucking hell, goddamn. So yes, this is lovely. I love things like this. I love the fact that cheaters probably think that they're being cheated, which is incredible. You can just imagine someone going, I'm getting shot. Where the fuck is that coming from? I can't believe this. Everyone stop getting shot. Like proper shitting themselves in their lobbies, chatting to the mates. Literally, this guy must be hacking or something because I can't see him anywhere and he's just killed me. Oh my God, it's the bitterest and the most beautiful tasting irony the world has ever seen. Oh, so yeah, Call of Duty anti-cheat system makes legit players invisible to cheaters. What are your thoughts, babe?
Yeah, massive dub. Massive dub. Again, it's one of those things where people, like you say, are just be going, oh my God, I can't. Why can't I see people? Why are people able to kill me and in the kill feed I can't see them? It's like, well done for outing yourself there, mate. Well done. Congratulations. But yeah, this Ricochet system, I'm not a Warzone player, so forgive me for my ignorance. But is this only things that's installed on your PC, or is this something that comes with the software already on your PlayStation or your Xbox?
Good question. Ricochet is, I think it's PC only, right? I think so. It's because it was a kernel-driven software. So
yeah,
so it's got to be PC only, which naturally will then. I mean, obviously, PlayStation cheaters aren't as rife, and Xbox cheaters aren't as rife as PC. Although PlayStation and Xbox players still have to deal with that because of crossplay, stuff like that. But yeah, I believe it's PC only. If anyone does have any deeds, then feel free to correct. But yeah. Sorry, you were saying.
I mean, yeah. No, you were saying everything that I was just agreeing with you. Like this. Obviously, there is cheats on PlayStation, there is on Xbox, but obviously, like you say, it's just not as rife. Cheating always seems to be more popular on the PC, and I think it's obviously because you can mod the files a lot easier and things like that. You can obviously be able to do that on the PlayStation as well, using certain controllers and whatever else and all the aim assist things. But for the most part, this is absolutely dynamite. Like when I watch streamers play Warzone, or when I watch Timmy Tenders, or I watch The Dark, or watch Lupo, whoever it is that's playing it, it's just rage inducing all the time for these guys, and I love the fact that they will now be able to see the people, and then they won't be able to get shot because it's just usually full of stream snipers and cheaters, and it kind of takes you out of it. As a streamer, you don't want that, do you? No. You don't want either of those two things. That could be the worst two things that you're having in a game.
I remember. I remember. It was last week, so I should hope I remember. But I was watching Tiggleton playing PUBG, and someone was stream sniping, so they knew exactly where he was and following him into the games. But they also had like wall hacks, not just so that they could see through walls, but they could run through walls. So say if Tiggleton went into a building, this guy would be like, if he was heading towards it, this guy would get into the building first and then wait for Tiggleton to come in and then just like morph out of the wall and shoot him in the back and kill him. But so many times, even with these cheats, this guy just kept getting fucking killed. And it's like, not only
you know you're shit.
Yeah, not only are you shit, but you're jumping out with your cheats behind someone who then turns and just drops you within a split second. Get shit on, kid. Get shit on. So I love seeing cheaters get done even just like that by someone's superior skill. But seeing cheaters getting cheated, I have got all the time in the world for that. Yes, please.
They were
So
the first ones to cry to cry about it though when they realised that their KD goes from 15 down to about -16. The first people like the game. You've done so much to the game. You patched the game. It's turning really shit now. And it's like I'm running in treacle. Obviously, you fucking moron.
like David said, it's good that the cheaters are paying to be cheated. Exactly. Yes, please. I'm a big fan of that. Big fan, because if you can make it so that cheaters are still out of pocket rather than just being banned, that they're still continuing to pay for a service that's just shit, then yes, please take those pounds. Yeah, I know it will still go to the people making the cheats, and that will obviously encourage them to want to do it. But there's only so long. If you can keep doing that, oof.
Yeah.
Lotus
Big dubs.
yeah. Lotus says get paid to cheat. Simple. Exactly like Lotus does. The Triggermeister. Aslan says there's someone behind you, Graham. Turn your cheats off. No, there isn't. No.
You would not be able to see them anyway.
Yeah, because this is not here. There's nobody there. My arm's falling off. Console cheaters are probably easier to find and ban too. Yeah, it's so much more difficult to cheat on console purely because it's a lockdown infrastructure. PC obviously by its nature is more open, so it's easier to put stuff onto it. Which is why
PS3 were pretty easy though.
yeah, but then again, look at how easy they. It was easy to hack, but then it was also easy for them to trace as well, which is why people stopped doing it so quickly. But that's the reason why Call of Duty and other anti-cheats are at kernel level, so that they can not just control what's happening in the game. They can have a look at what's happening outside of the game to make sure that, because that's where the malice is if you cheaters, you're loading stuff from outside the game that impacts in the game. And who are the ones that piss and moan about it? I don't want no kernel level shit. I don't want these people on my PCs. What did you really think? Like Steve in the Ricochet department at Activision really wants to look at like what dodgy films you've been watching on Pornhub? No, he's not. He's not asked. I mean, he probably would have a look. No, that's not happening. Steve works for Activision in a kernel level department. He probably knows more ways to access porn than you do. So get over yourself.
You can get to your PC without kernel level stuff, believe me.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, nice. Big fan of this. GG's Activision and Activision Ricochet. Let's see a little bit more of that. For now, though, let's see a little bit more about what you guys can get for free. So it's not Free Game Friday. It's Free-ish Game Wednesday, because these aren't technically free. And it's not Friday, so free-ish Game Wednesday. Nice. Tom Ivan at VGC has the first part, so we have good news for PlayStation, and then we'll follow it with good news for Xbox. You probably have seen these already. We did speak about them. Oh, no, we didn't, because we were off for Free Game Friday. So this is your update. May's PlayStation Plus games are now available to claim. I kind of feel like we may have spoken about these previously. We've definitely been speaking about them in the Discord. But the free games for this month include FIFA 22, Tribes of Midgard, and Curse of the Dead Gods. So May's 2022 PlayStation Plus games are available for subscribers to download as of now. So members can now claim FIFA 22 for PS4 and PS5, Tribes of Midgard for PS5 and PS4. God knows why they've decided to flip that round there, but there you go. And Curse of the Dead Gods just for PS4. And then those titles arrive alongside May's PlayStation Now games, which are Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, Soul Calibur 4, and Blasphemous. So there you go. If you are looking for something to play, if you want to play some FIFA and you think, I might give Crossplay a little bit of a try. Well, good news. It's free to get now. So if you want some FIFA 22 in your life, get it downloaded right now. You keep it forever. Well, as long as you're on PS Plus. And if you think, I'm on Xbox, fuck this shit. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. You guys don't need other free games because you get all the free games with Game Pass. And this article from Sean Murray at The Gamer says NHL 22 and This War of Mine headline May's Xbox Game Pass editions. 3 day one releases are coming to Xbox Game Pass too. Ooh! 3 day one games. So Xbox has just announced May's lineup of Game Pass games coming to the cloud, PC, and consoles, except for NHL 22, which for some reason EA just wanted to release on the console version of Xbox Game Pass because why not? Why not? So there you go, Lake. If you've got yourself an Xbox, you'll get NHL on Xbox Game Pass. Nice. Starting with today's release, we have Loot River, an action roguelike where you play as a plague doctor with dual-wielding swords as you gather loot in the titular Loot River. Besides the sword-swinging action, Loot River also features a puzzle element where you have to move platforms floating on the river to progress. May the 5th, which is obviously tomorrow, brings 2 day 1 releases. Trek to Yomi is a highly stylistic action game where you play as a samurai warrior defending your village from bandits. To make the whole thing look like an old samurai movie, Trek to Yomi is played entirely in black and white. Also coming May the 5th is Citizen Sleeper, a classic RPG where you play as a human consciousness in a robot body that's recently escaped servitude to an evil corporation. Survive by taking on odd jobs, forge alliances with the locals, and stay one step ahead of the corporation that's trying to track you down. On May the 10th, you can expect to see Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair Anniversary Edition, and Eiyuden Chronicle Rising. The first is a 2020 release of a 2012 PSP game, while the second is the prequel to Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. I'm skipping now, by the way, so you'll see that quick.
Yeah.
Also coming to May the 10th is This War of Mine Final Cut, the remastered version of the 2012 classic. And then finally, May the 12th brings the aforementioned NHL 22 to Xbox Game Pass for consoles only, including World of Chell gear sets for EA Play members. So here's your TLDR quick reference for May's Game Pass releases. I'll go over it again. May 3rd, Loot River. May 5th, Trek to Yomi Citizen Sleeper. May 10th, Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair Anniversary Edition and Eiyuden Chronicle Rising This War of Mine Final Cut. And then May the 12th is NHL 22 on console only. Ooh, lots of news, lots of content, lots of games. Any of that tickle your fancy, babe?
Yes, NHL. I do love a good NHL game. It's been a while since I played one. I think the last time was when me and you potentially played one, NHL 19.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Long old time ago. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to trying that one out. See what it's about. I mean, I don't know when the hockey season starts and finishes. It could well be at the end of the season, like it is with the football. It could just be beginning. I don't know. That isn't one of the day 1 games, is it? I don't think it is.
What, NHL?
Yeah, I'm sure it's been out a long old time.
I don't know.
I'll find out.
Good question.
NHL to release date.
I mean, the way that they talked about EA said that it would be Xbox has just announced May's lineup Game Pass included, except for NHL, which for some reason just wanted to release on the console version. So it kind of sounds like that.
15th of October.
Yeah, because it kind of sounds like that, but could not be. So it's not. So no.
It's been a long old time anyway, but I want to give it a go. I do love a good NHL game. So yeah, I mean, this list, there's definitely one in there for show. Don't know if he's listening, but Trek to Yomi, that definitely stinks of a show. If you're being a Shogun in a black and white filter, stinks of him. And the rest of them, I don't know. It's more games to add to the Game Pass. A lot of them are probably Bamba games, but they're definitely not Bibby games.
Yeah, absolutely. Ricochet is mostly server side from what I've just read, with some files client side as well. Just a reminder, you can't renew your PS Plus currently. I did mine like last week before, or whatever it was. I think I wasn't even planning to. It was just a case of it expired. I was playing maybe till silly o'clock the night before, and I realised at 3 o'clock in the afternoon before a PUBG stream that it was like, shit, I've got no PS Plus, so I just had to renew it there. And then I didn't even consider the fact that the price models and stuff were changing. Iceman says, I did it last week. Apparently you have to wait until the day it expires. Okay. So when you did it just make you do PS Plus, or did it give you like PS Plus Premium and Extra and Essential options? What did you get at that point in time, Iceman? Lake says, thanks, but I already have NHL 22 and had it since November for free. Goddamn. That doesn't surprise me, obviously.
Flex on it.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to wrap things up there. Thank you very much for sticking around. I know we've only been live for 56 minutes, so we've only been live for about 48-ish, give or take, talking actual game stuff with you, because, we had the go live and the intro and stuff like that. But we've got to pick up the pace, because we're going to be live again in 43 minutes on twitch.tv/. official insert coin.
Yeah.
So do feel free to join us there. If you're having your lunch, one-ish, late lunch, and you think, do you know what? Fancy a bit of Star Wars in my life. And do you know what? I fancy seeing two incompetent idiots that haven't played this game at all, so aren't really prepped for this stream. Then do feel free to, well, Bibby's played a lot more than I have, but do feel free to join us for this game. We are going to be playing Fortnite because it's Star Wars Day, and we want to play with lightsabers. And there is a lot of Star Wars games in the world, but Fortnite is up there with the best Star Wars games that have ever existed. Facts. You cannot convince me otherwise. So yeah, do feel free. 1 o'clock until 4 o'clock, we will be playing Fortnite. Would absolutely love to have you join us for that. Yeah. And then again tonight, PUBG later on. But before any of that happens, Mr. Bib, is there out you'd like to add?
Yes, there is. Thank you very much to each and every single one of you that joined us for today's episode of The Scoop. We went live in the morning. You guys came through despite us never telling you what time we're going live, apart from when we put out the go live notifications. So if you want to be notified, I want to help shape the remaining shows this week. There is 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It's at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms. Or alternatively, get involved with our Discord. All we need from you is the URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow? Mr. Graham Day.
10 a.m. Baby's coughing.
Ish. Wait for your mics, man. The mute at the top is just life changing.
Yeah, capacitive mute button. I mean, the fact that you've just gone coughed and come back and nobody would have noticed if I hadn't called it out. Whereas if we were still using the Yetis, you'd have had a clunk clunk. Clunk clunk. Clunk, 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 clunk. It started sounding like I was doing the Great Escape theme. Anyway, Lotus says, so just to be clear, 4 hours of Fortnite. It's 3 hours of Fortnite. From 1 till 4. There's lots of 4s in there. 4 hours not, but from 1 till 4 we're playing 4 tonight. So it's a 3 tonight. 3 hours. 3. There's the magic number. Quiff maths. That's where you do maths with your hair. That's quiff maths. Anyway, do you know what? We are going to disappear. Is there anyone else that we can drop? Well, West is on. I was watching West a little bit earlier this morning. Did we drop some love on West?
Let's do it.
Let's do that. Okay, nice. Do stick around. We're going to drop a little bit of love on West, and then do feel free to come and join us from 1-ish afterwards. If you don't want to watch Fortnite, you want to stick with PUBG, that's fine. That's fine. If not, we'll see you this evening. But have yourself tonight. Have yourselves a beautiful day. We'll see you in about 40 minutes on twitch.tv/official insert coin. Until then, stay frosty.